Hi there. Welcome back to AutoMatrix, where we do B2B SaaS teardown videos and try to identify a few conversion leaks that might be costing businesses a few £1,000s every single month. Today, we're going to be talking about AutoManager. And this is basically a software that helps with managing dealerships. Okay, like it's basically done for a dealer, for dealers, basically, dealing with cars and people that basically want to, repair and sell cars, basically. And straight away we can see above the fold, the the headline is very clear. Okay, there's no doubt about what this does, and so a prospect might be, um, but is definitely not confused about how to use this software, or what this software does. And also, as soon as we scroll down, we can see a credibility element with the 4.9 5-star reviews on Google from customers. Okay, so straight away it reinforces a positive idea in the customer's minds. And if we scroll down, we can see more explanations about how to use this software, which is great. And then more social proof by stating how long they've been in the industry, 35 plus years, and 4,000 plus, uh, basically dealership garages that they've worked with. So this is really strong credibility. And then if we scroll down, they've got even more um, credibility and social proof with the amount of partners that they've worked with. Okay, so this is really strong, some really high profile brands here, and this is great. And then we've got more credibility and social proof with the amount of 5-star reviews that they've got. Okay, avoiding that one. Um, One thing I will say though is potentially adding the actual, like, the testimonial, whatever they said, might be helpful as well to give the prospects an idea of what the results actually are rather than just adding 5 stars. Okay, that's one suggestion that I could give them, these people. And also, they don't really have um, a you know, element of objection handling in terms of, for example, frequently asked questions directly on the web page. I've noticed that they've got it here in the footer, they've got the FAQ section, which it takes you to that section. However, I would say potentially adding it directly on the homepage at the bottom might be more helpful in terms of conversions because naturally, as a user might come to the end of the website, they might not bother looking at many of these footer elements. Okay. Anyway, that is my suggestion. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about is that if we click on request a demo, for example, here we can see that obviously they've got more credibility elements here, which is great. However, if you look at the actual form structure, they are asking a lot of questions, a lot of fields to be filled in, right? So usually we know that the more fields that you ask, the more conversions actually tons, to be honest, because not many people will be bothered to actually fill out their information. Now, I do understand a few of these are very key informations, and potentially they're doing this to qualify their customers, which I understand, but I believe there is a right balance to be struck between qualifying your leads and actually, trying to get many people to sign up. I think this might be a little bit of it, a little bit too much because a lot of these things I feel like they could be discussed later on in the sales call process, right? I don't think you automatically, immediately need to know people's postal code and things like that in state, especially if they're not really going to use your software. Also, text area. But this is what they've done, in my opinion. It might be more helpful to remove a few of these, especially if you don't really need them. For example, if you've got their phone number potentially the email address is not as helpful or one or the other basically, but that is their prerogative. But other than that, I think I've covered everything. So this takes us to the end of the video. I hope you guys liked this video. And if you are a B2B SaaS founder and you would like help with increasing your conversions, please get in contact. You can do so by clicking on the link down below in the description. And I once again hope you guys liked this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.